This is a Flying Cow production.
Well, hello and welcome back to the Great Film Challenge here on The Flying Cow. I, of course, am your host, Clay Johnson, the Flying Cow himself. And here with me is my nephew, Aaron. Aaron, how are you today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Hanging out and sitting on a bed and watching a cat.
Oh, the cat's looking at me now.
Yeah.
They're facing me.
Yeah. But you and I just finished watching a movie. For this this challenge. Film called Memento, which is a 2000 film. Yeah, it was from the year 2000, directed by Christopher Nolan. Written on a short story, written by Jonathan Nolan. Actually, I think it was written by, could have sworn it was written by both of them. Thought that's what it said, but it says it's based on a short by Jonathan. The short was called Memento Mori, which is honestly the name of a whole bunch of things.
I was gonna say I know an album by the name.
Yeah. But this film is basically, if you haven't seen it, if for some reason you're listening to a film podcast about a film that you've never seen before,
Maybe you should go watch the movies.
Maybe
in
go
the
watch
order
it.
we're releasing them.
But just in case, it is about a guy played by Guy Pearce who has short-term memory loss, and the last thing that he remembers is his dying wife. And so he is on a quest, basically, to avenge his wife and to kill her. But it does not tell the story in a traditional structure.
Yeah.
It basically tells it in kind of two parts. You start in one part at the end of the film, and in another part that is told in black and white at the beginning of the film. And it ends in the middle.
Yeah. I'd seen like unorthodox and out of order story told movies. That one was completely different.
Sure.
But it took me a bit, but I still liked it.
Okay. So, I mean, I will say that really is my first question. Did you like this film?
I liked it, not immediately after it was over, but the more I thought about it, once I understood it a bit more, hell yeah.
Okay. So that is the second, and I think almost more important question. Did you really understand this film?
Not immediately.
Okay.
No. Definitely not.
I was about to say we had quite a discussion.
Yeah.
Afterwards to clear up your confusion.
Yeah. Usually I'm pretty intuitive.
Yeah, it's just a car alarm outside. Yeah. Hopefully that ends here pretty soon.
That scared me.
Hold on. And we're back. Sorry about that, folks. Didn't want to have a car alarm in the background the whole time. So sorry. What were you saying there, Aaron?
Give me a second. I don't completely remember.
No, you don't have a second. This is air.
I am the second.
Yeah. So it took you a second to figure out what the film was about.
Yeah.
Or what was really happening.
Yeah, what was really happening, and no, I can't get back on the tracks. My train is wrecked.
That train of thought, it has gone over a cliff.
Yeah.
Worse than the one in Back to the Future 3. It is just completely derailed.
It's gone. The car horn stole
All right.
it.
Well, let's let's kind of reconstruct. So, when the film ended, what did you first think was going on? Do you remember that? Because I think you initially asked me a series of questions revolving around, and we're going to get into spoiler territory here, folks. So, like I said, I hope
you've say you should be
you've
watching.
watched the movie. But you initially asked me questions around what really happened to the men that attacked his wife, kind of thing. And, you know, like I said, there were two guys that attacked him. There was the one that he actually shot and killed.
Yes, and then
then there was the one that attacked him. But as is revealed in the last bit of dialogue by the great Joe Pantoliano.
Yeah.
He eventually, with the help of Pantoliano's character, John Gamble, or Teddy, as he's called throughout the film, they tracked him down and he killed him, but he didn't remember.
He doesn't remember. Like in the beginning, I'm remembering now.
Sure.
Basically up until the end, until we talked about it after it was over, I could not find or tell or see any distinction between John G and Teddy because, well, forget you can't judge what anything looks like because Teddy just had the look of a guy who would have done what you thought had happened to his wife.
Okay.
I think that's fairly reasonable. Usually I don't say things like that, but still. He's intentionally made that way to make you think.
Right. I mean, he's intentionally made to feel non-trustworthy.
Yeah. And the way he acts as well and the things he says. Because he said he was a bad cop earlier. He was talking about himself. And then, of course, later on, he realizes that he can get through with Leonard and all that.
Right. I mean, I will also say that everything that we know about this film is based on what we are learning from Guy Pearce's character.
Yeah.
And as it goes on, and really at the end of, or technically the middle of the film, we discover that Guy Pearce's character, whose name is Leonard, is an unreliable narrator. Because what we find out in that final scene is that he has chosen to lie to himself.
Yeah.
And has basically set up a series of clues that will eventually lead him to kill Teddy.
Yep.
Because as he discovers in that final scene that we see, he actually killed the real John G, who he believes killed his wife. Years ago. Or, I mean, we don't know how long ago it was.
Teddy says it was years ago, but still.
Well, I mean, he said it was a while ago. We never really get a good idea of the time frame. But as we discussed when we talked about it after the film, he still needed a purpose in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we discover, it wasn't this attack that killed his wife.
Yeah.
What actually killed his wife, and he's deluded himself to believe that it is somebody else's story.
Yeah.
Was a mistake that he made.
Yes.
With an insulin shot. Which, if we are to believe that it is a 100%, photocopy of the story he tells about Sammy Jenkins,
yeah,
was basically instigated by his wife.
Yes. And he
So
essentially melded the two together.
right, and of course you don't want to believe that story. It's
No.
much happier to believe, the story that she was, killed by this horrible person, and now I'm on a revenge quest to kill him. But then when I kill him, what's next?
Yeah.
I gotta keep trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he ends up doing. Now, I will say that the thing that always kind of bumps me, aside from the fact that there's the time frame of his remembering is very nebulous. It's really just, I guess, when he loses his train of thought, suddenly he forgets everything.
Yeah.
From before that moment. Sometimes though, those moments last for so long that I'm like, I've almost forgotten what happened at the beginning of the scene. I don't understand how he could remember. But I mean, I will say that type of that type of condition really isn't like it affects lots of people differently. I mean, have you ever seen the film 51st Dates?
No.
So that is about a woman played by Drew Barrymore who has a very similar condition.
Oh.
But hers, she basically can live an entire day, and it's just when she goes to sleep and wakes back up, it's the day before, it's the day of her accident.
Oh, okay.
So, like she can live a whole day making memories all day.
Yeah.
But she will never remember that day.
Ah.
And so, and even within that movie, they show other people. Like there's a character in that movie, I can't remember what they call him, but I think they call him like 10-second Tom or something like that, where literally he will introduce himself to you. You'll say like one thing to him, and then 5 seconds later, hi, I'm Tom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, obviously there are, varying ranges of the condition, but it does seem, I think they left it vague on purpose.
Uh-huh.
So that we wouldn't be like, well, there's no way he'd still be remembering what's going on here or anything like that.
Because there are certain things you pointed out, or that we just thought about in general, like how does he remember to drive a car? He probably, I guess the cover up for that is because it was before the accident he learned to do.
My thing isn't not how does he remember to drive a car, but what if while he's on the way, he has a lapse and doesn't know where he's going?
Yeah.
That could be really dangerous.
I'm surprised he doesn't just get randomly killed, or even like how Jenkins was put in the home. How does he not get put in a home? There's countless people he's killed, probably.
There is,
and no one's got him yet.
Let's be honest. He is operating way outside of the law.
Oh, yeah.
So, but he doesn't remember that well enough to, I mean, honestly, what shocks the hell out of me is why he's not in jail. I mean, I feel like really all he's done by killing Teddy is kind of destroy this his way of life.
Yeah.
Because, he sees it as, I'm going to get this guy back for, using me kind of thing.
Yeah, but also like with Teddy, what way of life did he have? He was still lying to himself.
But it felt to me like Teddy was kind of facilitating his everything that he was doing. And without Teddy, I'm like, he's gonna get killed or arrested anytime now.
Yeah. Teddy didn't really, he didn't entirely cover for him.
Well, I mean, he it seemed to me at times that he was paying for stuff for him. I mean, he set up the whole hotel
Yeah.
thing. So I think that Teddy was actually taking more care of him than
He was himself.
realized. Well, I mean, obviously he didn't know because he doesn't remember. But I think that if you really pay attention, you can see how much Teddy is actually steering the ship.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. I mean, obviously, because of the condition that he has, really anybody can get him to do anything for them. You know, they just, need to manufacture some reason for him to believe that he trusts them, and they'll do whatever. I mean, we see that in the example of Carrie-Anne Moss's character, Natalie. Completely manufactured trust.
Yeah.
She even points out that she's going to do it to him, and it doesn't matter that she's telling him.
Yeah. Then he laughs and she comes
he's
back
going
in.
to forget. Yeah. So yeah, it's a really interesting kind of situation.
I liked it. It kind of felt like the same with Doctor Strangelove, where immediately after it wasn't my favorite, but now I look back on it and I like it a lot more.
Well, and we really just finished watching it less than an hour ago. So it'll be interesting to see
even later, yeah.
How you feel, as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, was there anything else about the film that you especially wanted to mention? Any scenes that were your favorite, or?
I don't think I had a favorite scene.
No.
I think I just enjoyed it in whole. Aren't there like versions of like the I forget what the word is for like out of order movies where they like reorder it to put the events in order? Don't they do that with some movies?
I mean, I mean, right now I can't even think of the right term, but
I would imagine it's not like normal or typical or like doesn't happen usually because they are meant to be
it's
viewed.
definitely like an atypical narrative structure.
It's just interesting to even think really
Sure.
of seeing it from the chronological perspective.
Right. So it's
so much
a
different.
non-linear
non-linear
narrative. So yeah.
But yeah, I'd just like to I don't think I'd want to watch it in a linear
order
fashion.
Sure. I mean, I think
But
it would be
it'd
an
be very
interesting
different.
experience just to see
Yeah.
what it would be like. But I honestly enjoy. Number one, I think that it's one of the biggest things that the film has going for it is the non-linear format, because it's like putting a puzzle together as you're watching it.
Mm-hmm. Which I really liked that aspect because it kept me thinking the whole time, and at the end I still had no clue.
Right, yeah, like you said, like I said, we had to discuss it before you really kind of understood the lies that he was telling himself.
Yeah, and it'd be weird too because it'd be like making Pulp Fiction go in order, which we'll do later because that's on the list. But like still that'd be so weird seeing Pulp Fiction in order.
Right. But I mean, as with this one,
you're thinking
you
much
don't
more.
really need to. And I think it actually, especially with Pulp Fiction, I think it actually
Pulp Fiction does it itself
to that film.
Yeah.
To do it in that non-linear structure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I don't think certain things would mean as much.
Yes.
If we saw them in the original
exactly
order.
It'd be completely different.
Yeah it would definitely change context to different things. And I think this is the same. I mean, honestly, in watching this, like I definitely enjoyed it, but there was a distance to this film that I hadn't really recognized before.
What do you mean by distance?
Like honestly, it's a common critique of Nolan films that there's kind of an a like he doesn't a lot of his films don't necessarily feel personal. It feels a little objective, separated,
Detached
cold,
from
even.
him?
Yes, detached.
Okay. From him specifically, or
Well,
he's
just
making it like
kind of
objective and raw and factual
as a whole, just kind of detached. And
in general?
yeah,
Okay.
and I kind of felt that a little bit more than I ever had before. And I think if you told this in a traditional narrative way, it wouldn't. I don't think it would hit you as hard.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know that it would necessarily be remembered very well.
Yeah, because you'd go in knowing that he's short-term memory,
Right.
playing detective, essentially.
Well, and also the twist is in the middle.
Yeah.
So, the whole second half of the movie, that he's lying to himself.
Mhm.
You know that, he's set up Teddy.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say boring because some interesting things happen along the way, but it just wouldn't be nearly as interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, then I want to go ahead and remind people that you can contact us on Instagram and Blue Sky, and still have Twitter, at the Flying Cow Pod. You can also email at theflyingcowpod@gmail.com. Make sure to check out everything we've got going on. Aaron, it is now time, buddy, to go ahead and pick our next film. So, first of all, which wheel are we going to be spinning from? I will say, just to remind you, the film after this one, we've already decided what it is,
so
and it
after
is one that
this-
you have seen. So,
we might as well do an unseen since there's just so many.
sure.
Plus, I don't really feel like watching a scene one
Sure.
right now.
All right, then let's go ahead and spin that wheel.
Oh, wow. It is really, really slow right now.
Uh-oh.
Okay, there we go.
What do we got?
We already watched Doctor Strangelove. What the heck?
Oh.
Okay, spin it again.
Spinning again. Respin.
Okay, it's slowing down now. The Untouchables.
The Intouchables.
Yeah, not the Untouchables.
No,
not,
because
sadly.
you and I have already seen that. That would be on a different wheel. The Intouchables. I think that's a
You said
French
that was a French
film?
movie, right?
Yeah, I think it's well, we'll talk about what it's about when we watch it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is a French film that they remade. They did an American version a couple of years ago. But I'm interested. I mean, I haven't seen either version, but
Yeah.
I'm interested to see this. So we will see how that goes. So yes, we will be talking next time about the Intouchables. Make sure you spell that right when you're looking it up, folks. But until that time, moo. Moo.